Hello students, welcome back in our new session. Today in this session we will continue the series of data type in Python. In previous class we have discussed the definition of data types as well as the categories of data types. Now today we will discuss a first category, that is fundamental data types. Fundamental data types or primary data types. So in this data type we have 4 to 5 components. These are, we have discussed already, int, float, str, bool and complex. Okay, so today we will discuss one by one. First is int. Int data types. So this data type is used to represent integer value. For example, a equals to 100 and b equals to 200. So in previous video I have shown you that a variable, a declaration of variable or initialization of a value to a variable is no need to explain with a data type or a keyword. Okay, so here I have written a equals to 100, so here no need to write int a equals to 100 like this. Okay, so here no need to write like this. Okay, we will simply write a equals to 100. Now let's take an example in a Python interface, how we will execute the variables via commands in the Python interface. Okay, so let's start. So this is the Python interface, that is our shell. So in this we execute commands, we write the commands to execute the coding line by line. Basically it is a kind of interface that is known as interpreter of the Python. So here we will write like a equals to 100 simply and b equals to 200. Now if I want to add these two variables value, then I will simply write the command a plus b, then I will get the answer 300. Okay, now if I want to know the class or keyword of a and b, and what kind of a variable is this, so we will write simple type of a and we will find the class int. Means a is the integer type of variable which hold the integer values. Same like we will write here b also, you will find the class A. So A or V are the type of integer variable. So now here we should know about the topic of type. What is type? So type is a function that is used to display the type of the object. So it is the function used to display the type of the object. So likewise we can write here like this, type of A. To find out the class of A and what kind of variable is this. Now the second one is float data type. Second data type is float data type. This data type is used to represent the decimal values, that is the number with decimal point. So for example, we have 100.23 or 200.67 like this. Okay, so if we implement this on the shell interface of the Python, then we will see like this. Here we will simply type a variable named f1 equals to 100.45 and f2 equals to 90.67, and simply we will just multiply f1 and f2 and we will get the resultant value. Okay, now if I want to know about the type or class of the variables, then we will simply type of f1 and next enter. So we will find the class float. Similarly we will just write f2 here and we will find the class of the f2, that is again float. Okay, so simply like this we will execute all the operations of float data type. Now if we talk about the third one, so third data type is the string data type. So it is used to represent the string value. So it is used to represent the string values. Now the question will arise here, then what is a string? So a string is a sequence of character sequence of characters or collection of characters Now we will see the execution of the string in the shell interface. So just move on the shell interface. Now we will see the execution of the string. So here we will take one variable, that is string variable s1 equals to Python. We will write the string in a single quotes, and second is s2 equals to Python and programming. Now I want to add both these strings, so we will simply write like this, s1 plus s2, and we will actually concatenate these two strings, Python programming. Okay, so now if I want to check the type of string variables, so here we will write simply type of s1, that is str, class of str means this s1 is of string type. Same here we will write s2 again, and it will print class str. Again s2 is a type of string variable. Now here we should know one thing, that is id number. So every object has an id number in Python, and that id number stores the value in the memory. So just to store the value or data inside the into the memory, we use the id number. So let's take an example of this. So id of s1, we will find this number. So basically this number is the address in the memory where the value of s1 is stored. Again we will find the next id number of string s2, so that is again this number. So in each time when we change the value of the s1 or s2, this id number will be changed. Yes. Okay, so like this, if I allocate some other value to s1, that is suppose how are you, then now we will check the id number of the s1. So id of s1 again, so this number will again have the different numbers. So in each time when we change the value of the variable, the id number will be changed. Okay, now the next data type is the Boolean data type. It is also known as bool data type. So Bool data type is used to represent the Boolean values. So to represent the true or true false Boolean values, bool data type is invented in Python. So Boolean values are true and false. So in binary, true means 1 and false means 0. Now we will see the examples of Boolean. Here we will simply apply P3 equals to B4 is equals to true, like this. Okay, now if we find the value of B3, that will be true, and values of B4 equals to true. Okay, so in next scenario, if I assign the value 5 to variable B and value 6 to K. Now if I use the condition and B is less than K, then we will find the answer is true because the condition is true. If I will check the next condition, then the condition will be false. Okay, here we will use, suppose bool equals to B is less than K, then if we find the answer of bool, that is true. Now if I find the type of bool, so type of bool is Boolean. So class of Boolean is a bool type. Okay, so like this we can check all the necessary conditions. Okay, now let's move on the last component of this data type, that is complex data type. So in this data type, this data type is format of complex number. So this data type is the format of complex number, that is A plus Bj. So complex data type is used to represent complex number. complex data type is used to present complex numbers, and complex number is represented diagrammatically as follows. So what is this? So through this diagram we can understand the complex data type. Here A is the real part of an object and Bj is the imaginary parts. Okay, so let's take an example of this complex data type. In this example, suppose we have one variable, that is c1 equals to 2 plus 4j. Here we have 2, that is a real number, and 4j is the imaginary number. Now if I check the type of c1, then we will find the class of complex number. It means, so we find the class of complex, means it means c1 is the complex type. It contains the complex type of value. Now if I find the resultant value of c1, then we will find the 2 plus 4j. Here if I check the id of c1, then this is the id. As we know that id is the location in the memory where the value of c1 will be stored. Okay, now we take an example here, like x equals to 10 plus 20j. Okay, now if I write print type of x, here if I check the type of x, it will be complex type. Now if I check the value of x, then I will find the value of complex number, that is real and imaginary. If I check the real number, then I will use the command x dot real, that is a real number. If I will check x dot imag, I will find the imaginary number. Okay, so that was some few concepts about the data types, primary data types. So that's all for today's session. In the next session we will discuss about some more data types. So till then, stay on this channel, and if you did not subscribe this channel, so go for subscription. And thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day. Thank you.